Today, Mr. Gulati will share us his insights on challenges and myths of EV adoption. So, please welcome Mr. Gulati.
Let me summarize on what I am aware of, and then we can see how this panel discussion goes further. So, as Abhinavji and Puneet has already given a good comparison of how things are on the technical side and the practical side, let me come from the dealership side where we are handling the end customers and practically what is happening on the ground. So just giving you some data, which is what we just saw January to August, we see some 67,000 electric vehicles being sold. And if I compare it with CNG in the similar period, it was 4,75,000. And then I compare with hybrid, which is the latest new buzzword in the different type of energy. That's around 3,23,000. So EV has just 7% growth as compared to year on year in January to August, whereas CNG has seen 46% growth and hybrid has seen around 19 or 20% growth. So obviously the things are that EV is a buzzword which is being discussed a lot, but practically on the ground, it's not getting the actual momentum or retails in registration or vehicles happening. I feel somewhere the battle is in the mind of the customer. The certainty versus uncertainty, the question of cost, value, relationship, economies, all have been actually his mind has been plagued by all those negatives or myths, which actually has to be cleared. And the major problem today is the electric vehicle saw their growth majorly from the three-wheeler side and the two-wheeler side, where the manufacturers who came in were all startups or new players who never thought about, because it's a niche product, it's a new product, information, knowledge is more important for that. And while comparing with this ICE engines, which are stabilized for so many decades, the kind of input information needed was missing, which created so many issues. So today, if you talk of any of EV to anybody, everybody thinks of range anxiety. There's no charging facility. The batteries don't run long. Battery life will go down after some time. What will be my resale cost? What would be the actual repair cost if I have to change the battery or forget about the battery? Other things, people have those information like tires. Have more wear and tear in electric vehicle as compared to ICE. And what has happened initially with all those startups and new players coming in, this all has was not answered before, and it has now created a bigger issues now. So I feel what I had to talk about on the challenges and myths, I feel is the biggest issue. I was talking to one of the senior most manufacturer who is into electric vehicle, and as per their data, the customers who used external chargers, which means not in their office or in their home, that was only 25% time, which is not huge. If there are some 100 customers charging 100 times a month, and only 25% has to find out a charging facility to charge, that's not a major concern. And normally we do 3.5 to 4 lakh vehicles every month. And I'm confident, leave apart metros, most of the other places, at least 50%, at least 50, it could be more. 50% customers will have their own shop, they have their own homes where the charging stations is charging points are easily there, and it will not be a problem for them. And with the kind of net metering, solar promotion government's doing in, I feel there'll be a lot of customers who will be driving free of cost because solar is the source of electricity what they're charging. So it's not even economies of scale, it's actually zero cost running for them. So there are a lot of good messages. On the other hand, one more issue is the kind of presence. So if I talk of two-wheeler, we have just seen the legacy players joining this EV bandwagon just around 6 months or a year back. And one of the number two electric vehicle player hasn't launched an electric vehicle two-wheeler yet. So the people who are doing 2.5 lakh, 3 lakh per month don't have a EV vehicle in their offer to the customer. that clearly shows that they are not interested, or they are delaying, or they are wanting to first check how the others are going through. So all those messages are not positive for the customers, and with all those myths, that is again creating. And if I talk about the passenger vehicle, where the major issue is happening, there's only one player who's actually working on the electric vehicle. All the others are only showing off one vehicle, just to maybe test waters or show government that they are actually in electric vehicle. But their sales are minuscule as compared to the percentage they sell ICE vehicle. So somewhere all the manufacturers are not even having the required number of focus which is needed for that. Uh, Last I heard, there was only 11 models of cars available in electric vehicle in India, as compared to some 70, 80 models of ICE engines available in India. I'm talking hybrid, CNG, everything into ICE. It's 1:7 or 1:8, which clearly means if a customer is wanting to buy a vehicle and walks into a dealership, it will be maybe 1:7 chances where he'll see an electric vehicle being parked there, or the sales consultant talking of electric vehicles. So when he doesn't get that kind of confidence from the sales team or the showroom or the dealership, even if he has some interest, he avoids it. And practically, electric vehicles, if the price is right, which like some products have been, they are real economical to run, and they are beneficial. Obviously, there has to be a minimum kilometer per month to reach that level. But there are a lot of customers who can do that, and that can benefit them. So I feel all those myths of uncertainty, which is the major issue which is happening. So you cannot clarify resale price today. You cannot clarify the maintenance price today. But obviously, there are companies which are offering an AMC on the product, which even includes the service cost and all that. There are companies who are giving 8 years battery life warranty, 8 years, 10 years, which are trying to cover up the customers' stress on what will happen after 5 years to the battery. So there are a lot of things happening, but I feel we need more information going out to the customers that electric vehicle is good for the environment, is good for them also, and it is good for resale also. Because 5 years, 10 years down the line, I was just seeing the report from Puneet, where S&P said even if it is 19%, it means that's a huge chunk of customers buying an electric vehicle after 5 years, which means even the current product will have a good enough resale. I'm not saying a great resale like the products which are being sold, those are in shortage. As of today, the resale market is bad. Every product which is discontinued gets a bad price. The products which see regular price increases and the demand growing only is getting a good resale price, or else rest is the same. So I don't feel EVs will be more bad than them. It will be actually similar or maybe a tad up, because EV will see growth going up. So uh, I feel overall, even all the major oil retailers pushing in charging stations, and around 14% of their uh, uh, fuel stations now have charging stations. 12% or 14%, I don't remember that figure, which is actually huge. And I don't know if we can compare it to CNG. I don't think so. CNG is more than could be 15-20% of the fuel station, a CNG station. And CNG got the push when the CNG filling stations came into picture in a major growth strategy, and that is how we are seeing CNG numbers of happening. So I'm confident the kind of push the even oil companies or even government or even startups are having on the infrastructure of EV charging, that will help us a lot. But somewhere, as overall, the being a part of the industry, overall industry has to come out jointly to promote electric vehicle and clarify those myths. As of today, there are players who are wanting to sell hybrid. They are indirectly blaming, or I'll not say blaming, indirectly they are showing that EV is not the right thing to be in India today. It is for future, but not today. Transient hybrid is better. I don't know why this message. India for the past 5-10 years have forgotten about what is transient. We jumped from 2000 BS4 to BS6. We didn't even went to BS5 as transient. So why now we are talking of? There are players who are not big in electric vehicle. They are more of an ICE players. They are not wanting to turf an ICE. I feel on EV. I feel whole industry has to come forward, give a good message about EVs, practical support to the environment and practical support to the customers also on economies. If they are running at so many kilometers per day, they have a house to their home, house to where they go regularly, where they can put a charging station. They have an office or a shop where the charging point can be put in. That's the future, and I should name MG Motors how they are coming up with a this new SaaS based battery per kilometer running. That's the kind of disruptions we need in EV technology today to increase the adoption, and they have become the front runner in this, and that's happy, because if a manufacturer is ready to give this, it means the product is right. So I feel this is a must. And closing, I feel somewhere this shifting policies from the government on environment, the interplay between customer and OEM, and all this will help EV need to be sorted out to help more adoption to come in. Uh, like Puneet ji showed that data, I am also confident. And obviously, when the products is launched, so we'll see a big churn starting from 26. So 26 would be the turning point on of electric vehicle. And I hope most of the OEMs, most of the manufacturers, at least the top 6 manufacturers, I'm not saying the hybrid manufacturers, but others will have good range of electric vehicles to at least sell the product, sell to the customers. And I'm hoping those prices are not uh, 30, 40, 60 lakh. It's around 20 lakh so that the customers can adapt it. The price are around 15 to 20 lakh so that customers are able to adapt it. And 26 would be a tipping point for, I feel, acceleration.